Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into how people are actually using AI in their jobs.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, we'll be looking at an article from the Chicago Booth Review. It's called "Which Workers Are Embracing AI."
Okay.
It's hot off the press, published just last week on November 4th, 2024.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing how fast AI tools like ChatGPT have become mainstream. Like they hit a record 100 million users in just 2 months.
Really?
Yeah. That makes you wonder, like, who's really using these tools and what does that tell us about the future of work, Wayne?
It's a great question, and this study offers a unique perspective.
Okay.
They surveyed over 18,000 workers in Denmark, focusing specifically on 11 white-collar professions that are likely to be impacted by AI.
So, like,
We're talking accountants, marketers, software
these
developers.
impressions many of us are familiar with.
Right.
Okay, so jobs where AI could really shake things up.
hmm
Did they find everyone was eager to jump in and start using AI?
Not exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Almost everyone had heard of ChatGPT, but the actual usage varied quite a bit. For example, 79% of software developers reported using it,
Wow.
but only 34% of financial advisors did.
Wow, that's a huge gap. You'd think financial advisors would be all over AI with all the data analysis they do.
Yeah.
What do you think is driving that difference?
Well, one interesting finding is that younger, less experienced workers were generally more likely to use ChatGPT.
Okay.
It might be that they're more comfortable with technology in general, or maybe they see AI as a way to quickly gain knowledge and skills.
That makes sense. The less you think you know, the more open you are to tools that could change the game.
Yeah.
But wasn't there also something about high achievers being big AI users too?
Absolutely. That's the fascinating paradox.
Okay.
The study found that those who used ChatGPT the most were also high achievers, folks with more education and higher incomes.
Okay.
It suggests that ambition and a drive for continuous learning might play a big role in AI adoption.
So it's not just about needing help. It's about wanting to stay ahead of the curve and really excel.
Mm.
Now, the article also mentioned a significant gender gap when it comes to AI adoption.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
The study found that women were 20 percentage points less likely to use ChatGPT than men.
That's a pretty stark difference.
It is.
That is concerning. Did the study offer any insights into what might be causing this gap?
They did delve into potential reasons.
Okay.
Interestingly, men were more likely to say they weren't using ChatGPT because of employer restrictions or concerns about data privacy.
Oh,
Women, on the other hand, more often reported that they lacked training.
that's really interesting. It sounds like there are different barriers at play here, both practical and maybe even cultural.
Yeah.
What stood out to me in the article was this disconnect between the perceived benefits of AI and the actual usage.
Right.
Workers estimated that AI could cut their work time in half for over a third of their tasks,
Mm-hmm.
yet many still weren't using it.
Yeah.
Wait, so even though people think AI could save them tons of time,
Mm-hmm.
they're still not using it.
Right.
What's the deal with that?
Well, there could be a few things going on.
Okay.
Some workers might not have clear guidelines from their employers about using AI.
Mm-hmm.
Others might be hesitant because of concerns about data privacy,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
Right.
And then there's the issue of training.
Okay.
Many people, especially those who are less experienced, might need more support to feel confident using these tools effectively.
So even though people see the potential, there are still some hurdles to overcome.
Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of people worry about AI replacing their jobs entirely.
Uh-huh.
Did the study address those concerns?
Interestingly, those fears weren't as widespread as you might think.
Oh, really?
Only about 10% of the workers surveyed said they were worried about AI taking their jobs.
Oh, wow. So that's a bit reassuring.
Yeah,
I guess the bigger issue is figuring out how to use AI effectively rather than just being afraid of it.
exactly. And that's where employers come in.
Okay.
The study really emphasizes the importance of employers taking an active role in shaping how AI is used in the workplace.
So it's about having the right support and guidance, not just throwing people into the deep end with AI and hoping for the best.
Exactly. The researchers suggest that employers need to provide clear guidelines about using AI,
Okay.
offer targeted training programs, and even consider restructuring workflows to take full advantage of AI capabilities.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It sounds like using AI successfully isn't just about individual workers. It's about creating a whole workplace environment that supports it.
Right.
But this makes me think,
Yeah.
couldn't there be a downside to employers having so much control over how AI is used?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
There are definitely ethical considerations that need to be carefully navigated
Yeah.
when you need to ensure that AI is implemented in a way that benefits everyone, not just the companies using it.
Right. Like, what about the potential for AI to perpetuate existing biases if we're not careful?
Oh, absolutely.
It seems like we need to be having those tough conversations alongside all the excitement about AI's potential.
Absolutely. And that's particularly relevant when we consider the gender gap we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
If women are already facing barriers to using AI, how do we make sure they're not left even further behind as these technologies become more integrated into our workplaces?
That's a crucial point. It feels like bridging that gap
Uh-huh.
requires more than just technical training.
Yeah,
It's about creating a culture where women feel empowered to explore and experiment with AI and where their voices are heard in shaping how these tools are used.
I couldn't agree more. We need to be intentional about fostering inclusivity and ensuring that AI benefits everyone.
Right.
And one way to do that is by highlighting the successes of women who are already leading the way in AI.
That's a great idea. Seeing those role models can make a huge difference in inspiring more women to pursue careers in AI. It's not just about catching up, it's about shaping the future of this field.
Right.
Speaking of the future, I'm curious about how AI might actually change the nature of work itself. Will these tools primarily automate existing tasks, or could they lead to the creation of entirely new jobs and industries?
That's a question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
And it's tough to predict with certainty.
Right.
It's likely that some jobs will become automated, just like we've seen with other technological advancements.
Okay.
But history has also shown us that new technologies often create new opportunities that we couldn't have even imagined before.
It's like that classic example of the automobile replacing horse-drawn carriages,
Yeah.
but then giving rise to a whole new industry around cars.
Exactly. And just as the invention of the computer led to countless new professions we couldn't have foreseen, it's very possible that AI will have a similar transformative effect on the job market.
That's an exciting prospect, but it also means that we all need to be adaptable and embrace lifelong learning.
Absolutely. In a world where AI is constantly evolving, the ability to learn new skills and adapt to change will be incredibly valuable.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are some of the key takeaways you'd like our listeners to keep in mind?
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that AI is not just a technological phenomenon, but a societal one.
Okay.
It's already impacting the way we work and live, and that impact will only grow in the coming years.
Right.
And as with any powerful tool, it's crucial that we use it responsibly and thoughtfully.
That's a great point. It's not just about the technology itself, but about how we choose to integrate it into our lives and workplaces.
Exactly.
Now let's move on to the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore some concrete strategies for preparing for this AI-driven future. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground: the trends in AI adoption, the challenges, the ethical considerations, and the potential impact on the future of work.
Yeah, a lot.
But now let's get practical. What can our listeners actually do to prepare for this AI-powered future?
It's a great question, and I think a good starting point is to shift your mindset towards continuous learning.
Okay.
AI is constantly evolving,
Yeah.
so staying curious and being open to learning new skills is essential.
I completely agree. It's not about mastering one specific tool. It's about being adaptable and embracing the fact that the way we work is going to keep changing.
Exactly, and it's not just about technical skills either.
Oh.
Developing strong critical thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, and creativity will be increasingly important in an AI-driven world.
Uh-huh.
These are skills that AI can't easily replicate.
Those are great points.
Okay.
It's about becoming more human, not trying to out-robot the robots.
Yeah.
So where can people start? Are there specific resources or approaches you recommend?
Absolutely. There are tons of resources available, online free courses, interactive tutorials, you name it.
Wow.
Don't be afraid to dive in and get some hands-on experience with different AI tools.
Okay.
The more you experiment, the more comfortable you'll become.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
It's like anything new, the best way to learn is by doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool.
Yeah.
It's up to us to decide how we want to use it to enhance our work and our lives.
I couldn't agree more. The future of work with AI isn't predetermined.
Right.
We're all actively shaping it through our choices and actions.
So instead of worrying about being replaced by AI, maybe we should be thinking about how we can partner with AI to achieve things we never could before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that requires us to be proactive, not just reactive. Think about the skills you need to develop the problems you want to solve and how AI can help you get there.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities, but it also reminds me of that old saying, the only constant is change.
That's definitely true in the world of AI.
Yeah.
But change can be a good thing.
Okay.
It can be an opportunity to learn, grow, and create something new.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Hmm.
I think the key takeaway is that AI isn't something to be feared, but rather an opportunity to embrace.
Well said. By staying informed, developing essential skills, and approaching AI with a mindset of curiosity and adaptability, we can navigate this exciting new frontier and use it to create a better future.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive. We hope you found this exploration of AI in the workplace insightful and hopefully a little bit inspiring. Remember, the future is what we make it. So how do you envision AI shaping your own work? And what steps can you take to prepare for this future? Keep those questions in mind as you continue your own journey of learning and discovery. Until next time, keep diving deep,